All right. A few of these here. I'm just going to leave that up there while I read a couple of these jokes. So, a preacher's little boy inquired, "Daddy, I noticed that every Sunday morning when you first come out to preach, you stand up on the platform, you bow your head. What are you doing?" The father explained, "I'm asking the Lord to give me a good sermon." The little boy said, "Well, why doesn't he?" Don't even think about it. When was meat first mentioned in the Bible? Meat. When Noah took Ham onto the ark. How long did Cain hate his brother? As long as he was able. Stop it. What time of day was Adam created? A little before Eve. Okay, as we roll on. A father was reading Bible stories to his young son. He read, "The man named Lot was warned to take his wife and flee out of the city. But his wife looked back and was turned to salt." The son asked, "What happened to the flea?" Got it? He was warned to take his wife and flee out of the city. Oh, come on, people. I know it's early morning, but let's go. One day, 3 men died and went to heaven. "Religion?" God's secretary asked the first man. "Jewish," the man replied. "Okay, go to room 23, but be very quiet when you go past room 8, the secretary said. Next man. "Religion?" he asked the second guy. "Muslim. Go to room 10, but be very quiet when you pass room 8. "Religion?" he asked the third man. "Agnostic. Go to room 71, but be very quiet when you pass room 8. "Why must I be quiet when I go past room 8, the man asked. The secretary replied, "Oh, the Catholics are in room 8, and they think they're the only ones here." What do you call a sleepwalking nun? A Roman Catholic. Of course. What else would you call it? Why do Mormon men, my gosh, I'm going to butcher this joke one more time. Why do Mormon women stop having kids at 29? Because 30 is just way too many. Which Bible character is a locksmith? Zacchaeus. Okay. So if you didn't like that one, you're going to love this one. A church bell ringer passed away. The church posted the job opening in local newspapers and the classified ads, and a man came in with no arms who wanted the job. The clergy weren't sure. The clergy wasn't sure if he could do it, but he convinced him to let him try. They climbed the bell tower, and the guy ran towards the bell and hit it with his head, producing a beautiful melody. They gave him the job on the spot. The next day, he went to ring the bell, tripped, bounced off the bell, and fell onto the sidewalk below. 2 priests were walking by. One asked, "Do you know this guy?" And the other responded, "No, but his face rings a bell." The next day, the dead man's twin brother came in for again the vacant bell ringer position. And he also had no arms. The clergy led him up to the bell tower, where he ran at the bell, tripped, and fell to the sidewalk below. The same 2 priests walked by. The first asked, "Do you know him?" The second responded, "No, but he's a dead ringer for his brother." That's terrible. Okay. So these questions were asked to little children, anywhere from 6 to age 10. How do you decide who to marry? And Alan, age 10, said, "You got to find somebody who likes the same stuff. Like, if you like sports, she should like it. She should like it that you like sports. And she should keep the chips and dip coming." He's 10, just letting you know. Okay, Kristen answered the same question, and she's 10 as well. "No person really decides before they grow up who they're going to marry. God decides it all way before, and you get to find out later who you're stuck with." So they asked, what is the right age to get married? And Camille, age 10, says 23 is the best age because you know the person forever by then. Freddie, age 6, no age is good to get married at. You got to be a fool to get married. How can a stranger tell if two people are married? Derek, age 8, says, you might have to guess, based on whether they seem to be yelling at the same kids. What do you think your mom and dad have in common? Lori, age 8, said, both don't want any more kids. What do most people do on a date? Lynette, age 8. Dates for having fun, and people should use them to get to know each other. Even boys have something to say if you listen long enough. Martin, age 10, says, on the first date, they just tell each other lies. And that usually gets them interested enough to go to the second date. What would you do on a first date that was turning sour? What would you do on a first date that was turning sour? Craig, age 9, said, I'd run home and play dead. The next day, I would call all the newspapers and make sure they wrote about me in all the dead columns. When is it okay to kiss someone? Pam, age 7, says, when they're rich. Kurt, age 7, says, the law says you have to be 18, so I wouldn't want to mess with that. Howard, age 8, says, the rule goes like this. If you kiss someone, then you should marry them and have kids with them. It's the right thing to do. Is it better to be single or married? Anita, age 9, says, it's better for girls to be single, but not for boys. Boys need someone to clean up after them. That's true. How would the world be different if people didn't get married? Kevin, age 8, says, there sure would be a lot of kids to explain, wouldn't there? How would you make a marriage work? And Ricky, age 10, says, tell your wife that she looks pretty even when she looks like a truck. Out of the mouths of babes, I'm just saying. A Jewish businessman in America decided to send his son to Israel to absorb some of the culture of the homeland. When the son returned, the father asked him to tell him about his trip. The son said, Pop, I had a great time in Israel. By the way, I converted to Christianity. Oy vey, said the father. What have I done? He decided to go ask his friend Jacob what to do. Jacob said, funny, you should ask. I sent my son to Israel, and he came back a Christian. Perhaps we should go see the rabbi and ask him what we should do. So they went to see the rabbi, and the rabbi said, funny, you should ask. I too sent my son to Israel. He also came back a Christian. What is happening to our young people? Perhaps we should go talk to God and ask him what to do. The three of them prayed and explained what had happened to their sons and asked God what to do. Suddenly, a voice came loud and clear from heaven. The voice said, funny, you should ask. I too sent my son to Israel. One Sunday morning, this is the last one before I put up sort of professionals. One Sunday morning, the minister told the congregation that he was going to say a series of words, and he wanted them to sing the song that came to mind when he said each word. The first word he said was rock. They immediately started singing Rock of Ages. The second word he said was blood. And they sang this, they began to sing the blood that Jesus shed for me. The third word was cross. And they began to sing that old rugged cross. The fourth word he said was sex. Everyone gasped. And then it got very quiet. Then way in the back of the church, an 87-year-old lady stood up and started singing, Memories